Oh boy. Hi, and welcome back to maybe the hardest video that I have ever made. And please don't freak out. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not depressed or anything like that. However, as you have seen in my video description, I'll be really honest. I kind of wanted to make it as people like, what? No way! And let's look at the video. This is actually a video that I wanted to make for myself. This is something that I have been struggling with these past couple of weeks, months, maybe a few years. Now, if you have been with me since, maybe even the beginning, I know some of you, or a couple of years ago, you know that the last couple of years I have been changing in the way that I look at video games, how I collect video games, where I play more and more older stuff and don't really care about the modern games. Stuff like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I am having difficulties to play through. I don't know why, because it's a good game. It's made incredibly well. I think it still hasn't had any patch or whatever, but I'm just having a really hard time to play through the game because I get bored and I don't know why. And if you turn it around and if I would stop this video right now, hook up my PS1, play the original Final Fantasy VII, I think I would be playing for hours on end. And I think, I'm gonna admit this, because I have always been someone who, this could, by the way, be a very long video. Please bear with me. This is actually pretty difficult, and that's why I'm talking slowly and trying to think what I want to say. I know that I'm not just saying random stuff, but I always tried to defend the whole older games are only good because it's part of your childhood and it's not nostalgia. But then again, all the sort of modern games that I have played, I'm 37 right now, all the modern games I have played, from great games like God of War, Days Gone, Horizon Forbidden West, or Zero Dawn, that I absolutely love, bears the question, if I would put it in my PS4 right now, would I really, really play it for hours? And I think my answer is no. But why? I don't know. I don't know why a game like Diablo, that I actually played a few months ago from start to finish, I have spent literally thousands of hours into Diablo as a kid, and throughout my life I have been playing Diablo and keep playing Diablo, even Diablo 2, but most specifically Diablo. And I still love the game as much as I did when I was a kid. And I don't know why. And you know what? I'm giving up the fight and I'm going to say, okay, childhood is something special. It is because of nostalgia, because why certain games are so loved in your heart. And games like Diablo, don't get me wrong, are incredibly playable right now. It aged like fine wine. Where, of course, a lot of games don't age like fine wine and are, for a lot of people, unplayable, but for certain people like me, are still fully playable because we grew up with these games. I think if I would let one of my sister's kids play on the PlayStation, I think he would be bored, annoyed it's so slow and it looks ugly, and I think I would give it a half an hour before he says, I want to play Fortnite. Of course, the difference is that in 20 years' time, or in 30 years' time, when he is 37, he will probably not be able to play Fortnite again and relive these nostalgic moments that he had as a kid, and we can. However, that is not the reason why this is not the point of the video. The point of the video is I am changing to a certain level where last week I had a really, in my personal nerdy opinion, scary thought in my head. And I was sitting at work watching the silo fill up, and I was thinking to myself, why do I still have a game collection? What is actually the point of having, what is it, 13 shelves full of games that I don't play? And I think that is sort of the most important part of why I wanted to make this video. Why am I still collecting video games, but I don't play them? I think from the past 6 months, the only game that I bought and I actually played was Nexo 1 and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Oh, and Vostok Inc. Vostok Inc. But that game is absolutely fantastic. And that's because a friend of mine showed it to me. I'm like, hey, this is interesting. Only cost me $8. Why not? So I had this thought in my head, and I actually talked to that particular friend of mine, like, hey, because he was also a game collector, and he went on to a different path in life, and I think he sold, threw away, gave away a couple of his games to me, but he basically reduced his game collection significantly through like a few Nintendo Switch games. And talking about the Nintendo Switch, I am more interested in playing Tears of the Kingdom than I am playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So the question remains, still in my head, why am I playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth when I want to play Tears of the Kingdom? Why do I keep buying games I don't play and don't buy the stuff that I want to play? I'm not entirely sure if this makes any sense. I'm really sorry, because this is actually, as I said, a super difficult video, and I wanted to make this video for myself. Instead of talking to myself, I was like, hey, why not make a video? Maybe some of you can understand, and some of you do, if you keep watching this, hopefully not so very boring video. Because I made a post exactly that day when I had that scary thought in my mind. And there were quite a few of you who basically said I did the same. I sold all the stuff that I didn't want, and I basically kept my childhood. And that day, I went home thinking, I am going to look at my game collection, and I am going to only keep the stuff that I want. And I went home and I looked at my game collection and I thought, no, I don't want to sell this. I don't want to get rid of this. This is my passion, my hobby. This is my life in a certain way. To me, and this is again an opinion, I'm not trying to talk down at any one of you or anyone in particular, but to me, being a real gamer meant you had to love physical games. You have to buy the games physical. You have to have a game collection, or you are not a real gamer. Throughout the years, I have seen gamers who showed their the game corner, and it was like only a PC and a couple of wall scrolls, and I always comment like, hey, you're not a real gamer. You just only play on PC. You don't have video games. You have nothing. But then again, now, all these years later, and you know that I've been a massive fanboy, I have completely got rid of that. I was always into the newest console, and I'm completely got rid of that. I'm changing to a point where I am really starting to doubt why do I have so many games? What is the point of spending money, time, but also space to build this amazing looking game collection? Because I still love how the game collection looks, and I think that is why it is so difficult for me to even think about getting rid of it, because I love how it looks. But at the same time, I thought about this, but I think I can with a guarantee say that I don't care about it anymore. I don't care about having 2,000 games or 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000. I am content. I am happy if I would just have my childhood that I can play. And there will be maybe some games here and there that I really want to play. But I thought that I really wanted to play Final Fantasy Rebirth, and I did for one evening, and then it started to slow down, and to a point where, like, nah, I actually want to make one of my Gundam sets that I bought instead of playing the game that I spent $80 on, and a system that I spent $500 on, but I don't really play it. And this scary thought actually got stronger when I found out that, these past weeks I have been playing a tremendous amount of Red Alert on PlayStation 1. Red Alert and Red Alert Retaliation. And I am having more fun with a match that can take up to 2 hours because, controls RTS doesn't work very well. Instead of playing Final Fantasy VII, if you would give me an option right now and say, hey, you can play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or you can play Red Alert, I would play Red Alert. Without even thinking about it, I would say I want to play Red Alert. And the more I thought about it, a lot of you have been new subscribers and you don't actually know that I grew up with both consoles and PCs. My dad had a PC, always had the strongest PC. So I did play stuff like Red Alert 2, Diablo 2, of course, incredible game. I was hooked on PC, but at my mom's place, because my parents were divorced, my mom's place, I just had a PlayStation. So I grew up with sort of the two. And I did have a PC a few years ago. I had it for 10 years. I was stupid to not maintain it, not clean it, and it broke. Eventually it broke. And I basically thought, whatever, I don't need a PC. I can just play on console. And I did. I was happy for a few years. But I do remember that I was hooked on certain games so badly that I really had to force myself to go and play on consoles. And I think one of the most notable ones was Minecraft. Back then, Minecraft was sort of new. It opened my eyes. I love Lego when I was younger. I love building castles. And even today, if I would plug in Minecraft, I can spend hours just building a castle, making something cool. And hours later, I'm like, I'm getting a little bit bored because I played this for so long, do something else. So I was never a 100% console gamer. And nowadays, when you have so many PC Golden Era games like Age of Empires, Red Alert, or the Command and Conquer series, because I never played Tiberian Sun. I always wanted to play Tiberian Sun. I never did. And, I saw for $8 you could have the entire Command and Conquer collection. And I'm like, man, I really wish I had a PC. I really, really did. And it was eating me up. it is still eating me up, to be really honest, because the only option I have is playing Red Alert on PlayStation. And there are a lot of PC games that I would love to play. There are a lot of older RTS games that I would love to play. And you can play them through like good old games, for example, and even on Steam. But as I mentioned a few minutes ago, being a real gamer means you have to buy the games physical. It means that you have to have a game collection or you are not a real gamer. You cannot enjoy video games on your PC. You cannot enjoy digital games. And this is really the scary part because it's just not true. I've always been heavily against digital games, and I'm still against digital games. But I am for digital when it costs $8 to have an entire franchise. And I do believe Steam will be here for an incredible amount of time. So I actually have been looking at gaming PCs, and I am out of touch. I don't know what to buy. I don't know what's good. I don't know what's bad. It's super expensive. Like a mid-range PC is like $1,000. I'm like, wow. And so at the same time, I'm thinking about, what's the point of having all these games? The other thing I think about is if I want to get a PC, I can buy a PC if I want right now. It's not about money. It definitely is not about money. Where do I put it? Because the only side room in my apartment is this. This is the only side room. That's why I made it the game room. I could put a PC here in the living room, but it would look weird. I can get a laptop and get a little desk, but laptop, yeah, I would rather have a little nice screen to play games on. And the more I think about it, even right now, because I'm going to say it again, I'm making this video for myself. If you guys are not watching past this, I don't care. I'm making this video. I'm talking to you in this video, but I'm also thinking to myself, what I'm actually pouring my heart out, what I actually think. And instead of looking like an idiot talking to myself, I'm like, let's make a video. The only thing I can see is the thing I want to do, but it's very difficult to do. It's like, and I'm a nerd. I'm not ashamed for it. I'm not ashamed that I can have a crush, or when I was a kid, at a video game character. I don't give a shit about that. And I had a massive crush on Xena. I still have a crush on Xena. Xena's freaking awesome. But the thing is I actually forgot what I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I'm a game nerd, and I'm not ashamed to say that I love my game collection, but I don't love everything in my game collection. I love Diablo. I would never sell Diablo. It's my childhood game. It's with Final Fantasy VII, it is the childhood game. Two games that I have. If I can pick two games that I can play the rest of my life, it will be Diablo and Final Fantasy VII. That's it. I would be happy my entire life. So with that being said, what is Redemption 2? What's doing in my collection? I don't like Westerns. What is GTA doing in my collection? I liked to be really honest, I only liked Vice City. That's it. That's the only GTA I like. Okay, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's a good game, but I could probably get it on Steam for like $2. Why do I have The Evil Within? Why do I have, I don't know, a lot of stuff? Why do I have Soul Hackers? Why do I have Persona? I don't play these games. And that's sort of what I am going, after this video, I am going to try and pick all the games in my collection that I'm like, I cannot get rid of this. This is my childhood. And I'll be honest, it will probably only be childhood games. And I'm going to think very, very, very hard if I want to keep this collection or I will sell it, sell all the shelves or most of the shelves, get a PC. Well, actually, I have to get two PC because my friend is always here. And, you know, will I, after work, for example, if I go home, will I be unhappy to see, to put on my PC and play on PC, sit at my desk and play on, will I be unhappy? I don't think so. Because I don't remember any part in my childhood when I had a PC that I was unhappy. I was unhappy because I wasn't playing the games on console that I spent 60 or 60 or $50 on. It's kind of the same thing as last year. I sold my entire PSP collection because I never ever play on PC. I just bought these games. I don't know. I just bought them. I probably could have, give you a really good explanation when I was 10 years younger, but now I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know why I keep buying games. I don't know. I don't play them. I don't play them. I got, what's the game called? It's a racing game. It was $5. I never played it. I got the White Witch Knight. I got Sonic Colors. I don't play them. Do I ever want to play them? Probably not. Probably not. Why would I play Sonic Colors when I can play Diablo? Why would I do that? Why would I play Call of Duty, for example, when I can play Time Splitters 2? I mean, I have been playing Time Splitters 2 here and there, and man, the game is so good. It's still good after all these years. It's still a good game. I'm not saying that all of a sudden I'm going to get rid of Xbox. No. Because I think when I made my video talking about that I'm going to collect on Xbox instead of PS, so I think that is where it sort of started to, because I did think about, if I'm going to collect for the Xbox, have better versions of every game that are multi-platform on PS2. Why am I still having this giant PS2 collection? Why not just sell it? I think that is where it all started. But for example, would I sell Time Splitters 2 on the PS2? No, because it's literally the game I played in my childhood or my teenage years. But right now, I would rather play on Xbox because that game looks and runs better. I was sort of excited in the beginning of the year to play Fallout. I don't know why. I got Fallout 4, the Game of the Year edition. I played it for an hour and it was put it in the shelves. Bam, that was $20 off, goodbye $20. And I played for an hour and I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. But can I play Red Alert for hours? Yep. Oh man, yes, oh man. It's actually eating me alive that I cannot play Red Alert 2 or Tiberian Sun on PC because I don't have a PC. Man, I would love to play 9-bit armies on PC or 8-bit armies on PC, I guess. I would love to play the original StarCraft because I love that game. Rise of Nations. I know there's an AC version of Rise of Nations and Age of Empires. It will be so cool to play these games. I know there is a Homeworld too remake. I loved Homeworld. Oh my freaking god, I loved Homeworld. I can play those. I want to play that. I don't want to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Somehow. I don't know why, because it's a really good game. It is. But I think it's not the game that I grew up with. It's not the world I grew up with. It's not the Final Fantasy I know. I think that's maybe it. Um, I don't know. Thank you, by the way, if you're still watching. If you're still watching, it's kind of weird, maybe. I don't know, because I'm basically, talking to myself, literally talking to myself. I'm literally talking to myself like, hey, Claude or Alex. I'm called Alex. Why I'm looking at my game collection. I'm just thinking, it's cool. I love it, but I don't need it anymore. I don't. And I'm actually choking up a little bit because I do love video games. You know, to me, it's still the feeling is still here. Like, you have to have physical video games or you're not a gamer. If you only have a PC, you're not a gamer. But it's not true. It's just not true. Um, you can have a very normal car and you can still love cars. You don't need a sport car or a Lamborghini or whatever type of cars you like. You can still be a car guy or girl or trans whatever. But you still want to drive a normal car. It's you can still play on PC and play certain games on consoles and still be a gamer. You can still have two shelves full of games instead of 13 shelves full of games, and you can still be a gamer. I think to me, it's always been the way of you have to play the newest games. Why would you play old stuff? And that feeling is gone. That feeling is completely gone. A few years back when I opened my launch PS3 and dabbled with it that night and think to myself, hey, I never played Dragon Quest 8. Let's play it. And then spend 110 hours playing Dragon Quest 8 and realizing that these games were just better. They were magic. And now I can also honestly say it's because it was my childhood, because it was magic. And the beginning of gaming, let's be completely honest, was the beginning of modern gaming, became beginning of 3D gaming. We will never see anything like the hype where the PlayStation 2 launched and how it looked and wow. We're never going to see that ever again. There will never be any game that will wow me. God of War looks amazing. Yes, we know. We know it's gonna look amazing. But on PC it looks even better. Yeah, sure, but whatever. We know it's better looking. We know how it looks. We know it looks good. But back then you didn't. You didn't because you knew PlayStation 1 or like the Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64, and then you saw the PlayStation 2 for the first time, and your mind was blown. And I don't know if your mind was blown because you were a kid or a teenager, maybe even when you were an adult and you're very old now or older now. Maybe even back then your mind was blown because it looked better. I do remember my dad actually stopping liking games sort of went in on the PS2 era because he was saying, yeah, games just look better, but that's it. And he did play like Skyrim and stuff. He loved that. But man, this is a long video actually. I'm really very very sorry for it. But I think now this is not a decision that I wanted to make only because I had a thought in my mind. I really had to dig deep and really think about what do I want to do. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? Um, and I think that I need to do this. I think I would be as happy or maybe even happier if I could just go, from work, go home, turn on my PC, sit on a nice, gaming chair, and play Red Alert 2 the entire evening. I think I would. I think I would enjoy that. Even in my mind right now, I'm enjoying it more than I enjoyed any PlayStation 5 game. To be really honest, I don't even know why I still have a PS5. I know my friend plays on it, but she's also a PC girl, whatever. So, if I would get two PCs, I know for certain that she would not play on consoles anymore. I would, maybe, because you can also play Diablo on PC, so why would I play it on PlayStation? I don't know. I think I'm going to end this video with this. Thank you. If you're watching this entire video, thank you. Um, yeah, it's weird, but I think I would be happier. I think if I would not have 2,000 games and just have the few games I really want to play. I think I'm going to end this video with this. Thank you for watching. Um, this is not the end of my channel, by the way. Even if I somehow am going to sell my stuff, most stuff, I will still talk about PC games. Talk about how great certain games are. Um, so this is not the end of my channel. Hell no, it's not the end of my channel. But I do think this is the end of collecting. I do think that I haven't been buying games for the past weeks. I don't have any urge to get any type of game. I don't look at marketplaces anymore. I don't look at Amazon anymore. I think I am completely done collecting video games. I still love them. Um, I just, I don't know. I don't need it anymore. I don't know. It's weird. Wee. Bye bye.